Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society with me, Gert Retief, and tonight we continue with our three-part series on the bourbons. And as a quick reminder, I bought a tasting set from bourbon collections or bourbon whiskey collections. The first one that I did was the Evan Williams, and tonight I am going to have a look at the Elijah Craig. Quite looking forward to tasting this. As just a quick reminder, I have no idea what I'm doing with regards to bourbon. I'm a complete newbie when it comes to it. I didn't do my research on this one. Also the previous one, Evan Williams, no idea. And the next one, that the Larceny, I also don't want to do any research. I want to experience the whiskey for the first time with my own experience. So I'm quite looking forward to this. What I did also learn from the previous video is that it's a good idea to pour it in a glass and give it a little bit of time. On the previous one, I just poured it in and I started nosing it, and I didn't get quite a lot of the nosing notes. But after the video, I went on a little bit and I came back to it, and there was some changes, more of the vanilla notes, more of the toffee notes, more of the sweetness coming out. So I've learned my lesson on that one, on the first video, so a big learning curve. So I did pour it about 10 minutes ago, just to give it some time to breathe. On the only information that I have is going to be what's on the bottle. And unfortunately, these small bottles doesn't say much. So only thing that I have is Elijah Craig small batch. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, and 94% proof. That is 47% ABV in my language. And then they have something at the back here, but looks like a government warning. So that's the information that I have, and I think that's good enough for me. Again, age-wise, no idea. I don't think they do age statements. They also color-wise. Also no idea if you guys add coloring, probably not. I presume it's quite hot, so the whiskey or the alcohol will probably remove a lot of the coloring out of the fresh bourbon glass. So I'm not sure about that as well, but that is the whole experience for me, a newbie trying something else without being tainted with somebody else's words or thoughts. So color-wise, I do like the color. It's nice, dark, rich. It looks quite oily. A nice amber color to it. I do like the color of it. So on the nose, cheers. A lot different than the Evan Williams. It's a lot sweeter on the nose for me. It's more approachable. The Evan Williams had a little bit of a raw alcohol nose to it. And this one is much smoother for me. I hate using that word, but it does seem toned down, a little bit more mature for me. So I do get a little bit of the caramel note, quite similar note, but I don't get a lot of the corn note. Well, I think it is the corn, because that's something that I'm not used to. So when I smelled the Evan Williams, I had this funky little note that came out that I do remember from years and years ago drinking the Jim Beam, and that what the same funky note that came out. So that is a little bit of a reminder that it could be the corn, but I can stand corrected because I have no idea what I'm doing. So A little bit of a vanilla, the caramel, the vanilla notes, the toffee notes, the sweetness, and a little hint of cinnamon that I get. This is really nice. It reminds me a lot like a Christmas cakey type of nose to it. I'm quite impressed with this. Maybe I've been drinking the wrong whiskey for many years. So on the taste, cheers. This is nice. So I have the sweetness. I have a little spiciness to it. There's now the alcohol, there's a hit of the alcohol. A little bit of a, and I'm not going to say, I think it's not a pepper note. Like in a lot of our whiskies here in Scotland have a little bit of a peppery note. This is more a sweet alcohol hit. And it's got a lovely aftertaste. So I get a little bit of a spiciness to it. And I get a hint of a smokiness to it. But I don't think it's completely different from what I'm used to. So it is not a peat smoky. I don't even know if you guys do peat smoke. But it's like a charred wood. I know some years ago I made my own brandy. And yes, it is legal in my country to make your own brandy. So I made some brandy, and I used to take oak. Pieces of oak, I put it in the oven until it gets a nice toasty cover on it, and I put it in big jars, and I get the same type of little bit of a hint of the smoke. So really, really nice. Now I get a little bit of an orange note, like a freshly squeezed orange juice. Or orange peel maybe, a little the oil of the orange peel. Wow, this is really nice. So I'm not going to give these a score, but what I'm going to do, I think on the last one of the series, I will compare all three of them, and I'm going to pick my favorite. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Put a comment on what do you think about the Elijah Craig, and what would you recommend I try in the future with regards to the bourbons, and help me educate this uneducated palate on whiskey with an E. Cheers.